Haha. So after all, I was too tempted, really, with the release of Shadow Man Remastered on PC. So I thought, well, heck, I'll just buy the PC version from Steam, because I was also curious how it will run on my crappy PC. Well, crappy gaming wise. It's pretty good PC overall, but it's just not for gaming really. It's a pre-built PC. I didn't build it, and I really just don't like building PCs, or am I skilled enough to do that anyway. I can do something with PCs, but yeah, I'm not that skilled and not that really interested either. But yeah, bought it, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I can't even remember. But yeah, it was 16 euros 79 cents. So it was less than 20 euros. So pretty acceptable price for such an old game's remastered version. And well, first of all, as it's not not like an well, not all PC games just run on your system automatically, because PC gaming is so much different than consoles. I mean, you buy a game for console and it just 100% runs on it. It might have bugs and stuff like that, but it runs. But on PC, you can't be 100% sure if it even runs on your system, but gladly it does run, and I would say not that good that I was expecting it to run, because after all it's just a remaster of a 20 plus year old game. So little disappointed on the performance. So I fiddled with the visual options quite a bit, and I settled with the resolution that I chose is 1600 by 900 resolution. So it's 900p resolution was my choice. I tried it. Well, first I tried it on 1080p resolution, but the performance was just so sluggish that I needed to lower it down a little bit. I also tried 720p, and that was huge improvement on frame rate, of course, compared to 1080p. And I then tried the in between, the 900p, and I didn't see much difference on 720p compared to 900p. So I settled with the higher, maybe a few frames lower on 900, but definitely not that big difference than 900 compared to 1080p. And all the other graphic settings are, maxed out. So yeah, and I would say the frame rate with those settings is acceptable. I mean, I would say it's, and like I said, this is a game, and usually I don't require that much from frame rate. I mean, I can easily play a PC game that runs, well, of course it depends on the type of game. If it's a racing game, then it needs to have a higher frame rate, definitely. But in a case of Shadow Man, that is really like not very fast moving game. It's quite slow paced action adventure, so I don't require that high frame rate for it. So I would say that the highest settings and 900p resolution, it runs about 25 frames per second to 30. Yeah, I would say 25 to 30 FPS, and that's good enough for me, really. So I don't require like it has to run 60 frames per second. No, not this game. But like I said, it depends on a game, and especially depends on a type of genre this game is. And there are few things missing that I really want to have, and I'm quite sure that future patches will add this feature that is pretty much in every game, but this game doesn't have it, and it's just a must have for me, really, is the invert y-axis. There are no, I always play with invert y-axis on, so when pushing, and I'm also playing this PC version with my DualShock 4 controller. So I always play like when you push the right stick up, it looks down, and if you press it down, it looks up. That's just natural for me. And if the invert y-axis is off, it just doesn't work with me. I'm so used to invert controls, but only the y-axis, not the x-axis. So I always play the x-axis that it's not inverted. So pushing right moves the character, moves it right, and left moves it left. Of course, it's only the up and down that I require it to be inverted. So I hope that feature comes in the next patch, and I also hope that the future patches will improve the performance overall, because I'm a little bit disappointed on the performance side. But yeah, usually, of course, it's also the thing in console games, but especially on PC games. Usually when the game is released, whatever the game it is, it's the most common problems that it just doesn't run well overall, or just not on your system. And usually the future patches will improve the performance, and I really hope that that will be the case in this game also. So yeah, only played it like a while now, and I'm not planning to really start the game until I have the invert y-axis option added, because I really need that to enjoy the game really. But yeah, I'm still planning. This was just, I was too tempted to just buy this game, and I just knew that would happen. And yeah, like I said, I was really curious. That was one of the biggest reasons. I was just curious how this game runs on my system, because I haven't like bought a new game for my PC in like years. It's been that long. I played regularly on my PC like something like 3 or 4 years ago. I stopped playing regularly about 3 to 4 years ago. So this is my first PC purchase in years. So also I was so that's the reason I was so curious about how this game runs. And yeah, overall I'm pretty satisfied, and I also think that the future patches will improve the performance even more. But yeah, in this state it's playable, and I know I could just lower the graphical settings to make it run better, but you know, I'm the kind of, you know, I've always been the kind of PC gamer that I just want to see the game with better graphics, as it should be, you know. I just don't want to see it stripped down of all the graphical features and looking like ass. I don't want to sacrifice that to the better performance. I mean, like I said, I don't require that high frame rate. I mean, yeah, 25 to 30 is perfectly fine for me. So if I have that and then the graphic settings set to the max, then I think that's perfect settings for me. But even though, of course, this is very old game, so even with the graphic settings set to max, the game doesn't look that good. Of course, miles away better than the original, of course, because these have the graphical features that the original didn't have, like real-time shadows and lightning and you know, just the things like motion blur, ambient occlusion, V-sync, yeah, shadow mapping, etc. So yeah, but I am definitely still going to buy this for PS4 Pro when those consoles versions will be released. I will also buy that for my PS4, bro. Because yeah, this is like a, you know, temporary game, uh, temporary version to play until I have the console version. So yeah, now I'm waiting for those updates and patches that will hopefully sooner than later add the invert y-axis option and improve performance and shit like that. Yeah. So yeah, and this was definitely not a review of the game. That is coming later when I have played that game for much longer. Because now I have only played like 20 to 30 minutes from the start. And yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm not going to complete this game first. And then after that doing the review. But I'm going to play it a couple of hours because I already know this game from start to end. Because this is very familiar game for me. But I'm definitely going to play it a couple of hours, and then I think I have the good understanding what this remastered really is, and I can do a review of it. Yeah. There goes Coca-Cola, empty, right. But yeah, this was just my experience of pretty much how this game runs on my PC, and yeah, just wanted to tell that I decided to buy this after all and didn't want to wait for the console releases. But yeah, definitely buying this for PS4 also. But enough now, I'll shut up. So yeah, and next Sunday, yeah, I'll be playing the Resident Evil 8 demo on Xbox One, and yeah, probably doing, I'm not 100% sure, but probably doing a comparison kind of video comparing the experience on PS4 Pro compared to Xbox One, this demo. So yeah, see you at the end of the week, I guess. So for now, it's a bye bye.